Hello, good evening. Welcome to the third in our series, Jane Bank Redesigning Your 2020 Goals Chats. I am Rose Miller, Grants Manager at the Jane Foundation and Head of Jane's BeWi's Financial Empowerment Program. Joining me this evening is my good friend and colleague, Michael Collins. Michael is the Sales Development Specialist at Jane Bank. Welcome, Michael.
Welcome, Rose. It's good to be here.
Great. Together, Michael and I will be answering questions that we know many of our members and customers have during this very difficult time. We will be specifically addressing the concerns of Jamaicans who are unemployed and those whose salaries have been affected by COVID. Our goal at Jane Bank is to assist you cope during this very difficult time that COVID 19 has thrown our way. All right, so let's get started. Now, there are a lot of questions floating around, and this one question I know many people would like to have answered.
Mhm.
They have lost their jobs, or they've been laid off for a period, or they have a reduction in salary, and they want to know, how do they manage with this little much that they have? Truth is, viewers, this is the reality of many of our Jamaicans at this time. One of the first things we want to say, though, is take courage. We're going to make it through. Practically speaking, I would want such a person at this time to be looking at their budget.
Mhm.
We still need to be budgeting at this time, irrespective of how much money we do have. And we also want to make the point that we would need to be saving even during this time.
Very important, Rose.
So our spending, thanks, Michael. So our spending is going to be critical. How we spend, what we spend on, and of course, we're going to be focusing on the necessities first. So there might be things that we will not be able to accommodate in our modest budget at this time, and we have to be mindful of that. It's a total redesigning and shift in our lifestyle and in our spending habits.
Mhm.
So we're going to be paying close attention to how we spend the little we do have to make sure that we can maximize on what we do have. Michael, would you have anything to add to that?
Yes, it's very important that we actually be proactive about what it is and be smart. That's pretty much what we're saying. Be smart about everything that we do. So conserve your utilities at home and do things with the family. Save money in this time. That's all I have to say. That's critical to what we're doing right now.
All right, and something else that's on a lot of people's mind, how do you manage your loan repayments without a stable income at this time? Michael, you're going to have to help our customers and members because a lot of people's reality is they have a lot of loans and with unstable income. So, what would be your advice to them?
Well, Rose, my advice, because this is the real thing that's happening to so many people. One thing for sure, if you have loans, reach out to your creditors. You see, the good news is that many financial institutions, including us, Jane Bank, we're aware that some persons are experiencing financial hardships. Real, that's a reality. And that is as a result of the COVID-19 restrictions. So Jane Bank has redesigned programs specifically to assist our customers during this rough time. One of the opportunities that we found this arose, we offer to persons who have debts, loans, and so forth, is to really consolidate those debts. This means that you put all your loans into one loan, and there are certain immediate advantages of doing this. For example, if you are to do debt consolidation, it will result in a single and usually lower monthly payment with a lower interest rate. That's what's happening right now, Rose. This not only helps you save on the stress of paying off multiple loans at the same time, but more importantly, helps you prevent and get out of debt faster. Chances are it also frees up your budget, as Rose mentioned before. It allows you to have more money to spend each month. And this, especially in these uncertain times, Rose.
All right, great advice, Michael. But I just want to add because we do have to pay our utility bills and so on.
Mhm.
And I want to also tell our viewers that our recommendation would be for you to pay at least some money on these bills. Pay the minimum, pay a part of it, just honor your debt in that way. You might not be able to fully satisfy, but if your creditors notice that you're making the effort, then they will understand. And you're going to also be able to reach out to many of those creditors, as Michael said, and see how they can accommodate these payments, what kind of a holiday you might be able to get. And the good thing also is that, like our utility companies, they really do understand what's happening to many of the customers, and they are willing, more than willing, to assist. So, one of the other struggles that persons have at this time, real struggle, is
Yep.
how do
Real
I
struggle.
pay my mortgage at a time when my salary is adversely affected? I might be out of a job. How do I pay my mortgage? Nobody wants their house to be taken away. Michael, how would you advise somebody like that?
Well, more good news, Rose. So we assisted you to
Great.
purchase your home. Let's say we have that, okay? And now we want to help you through this difficult time. Mortgage is usually a big chunk of somebody's budget. Would you agree, Rose?
A huge chunk.
All right. So we're cognizant of this fact. So through our recently introduced mortgage help initiative at Jane Bank, we will assist persons to identify the best solution right now. All we ask is that they talk to us. All right? Have a conversation with us. So one option is actually to access a moratorium. That's a word people normally hear. What it simply means is that you get what is called a payment holiday. So you may opt to discontinue a portion or all of your loan payments for up to 12 months. And we do have that option, Road. Can you imagine that? That's one
That is
option that we
great.
offer.
That is really good news.
Absolutely. What it really means is A, you may lower what you pay monthly by choosing to suspend the payments on the monthly principal. What do we mean by the monthly principal? That portion that goes towards reducing your loan on a monthly basis. Or some people may opt to B, suspend payments of both the monthly interest and the principal and make no payments on the loan. And again, we do offer this for up to 1 year Rose.
That
Now, if
is
persons
awesome.
choose to, yes, absolutely. Now, if persons choose to pay no monthly payment for a desired period of up to 1 year, after this 1 year or so suspension period has passed, they have the option of doing either of two things. They may maintain the payments that they were making originally on the mortgage before the suspension of the mortgage and request a further extension in addition to the period during which they were making none of those payments. Or they could only add the period during which they were making no payments and extend the life of the mortgage and increase their monthly payment if they can do that after this pandemic has passed. Now, another thing that other persons found very important, they can access the principal paid up on their existing mortgage with us as a loan. We call this the re-advance mortgage rules. What it simply
Mm,
means is that if, for example, you had borrowed $10 million from us 5 years ago, and you now have $7 million as your loan balance, did you know that we can actually give you back up to this $3 million without increasing your current monthly payment as one option? We
that
can
is
do that.
great.
That's the advanced mortgage. Yes.
That is great.
And then
But
of course, Rose, we have to be aware that we have our seniors who may have borrowed from us, or long-standing seniors. They may have a little balance on the mortgage, or they may have paid off their mortgage. They can come back to us and ask us to provide them with what we call our reverse mortgage. What this means is that for persons 64 years or older, they may access this facility by using what we call the equity in their home. The property may have increased in value. They may not have any mortgage on it, so they have room to borrow. What we do is to give them up to a period of time on a monthly basis a certain amount. And this amount will increase over that agreed period of time. And then what we do at the end of the period, we can agree now for them to start repaying that money back to us in terms of a regular monthly payment. And those arrangements are fantastic. And we can look at that on an individual basis. That's a reverse mortgage. So that's the other option we have, Rose. Really great options here at Jane Bank.
man, Michael, that was a mouthful. Somewhere in there, anyone who has a JN mortgage should be able to find a way throughout this very challenging period. There's something there for every single homeowner. No need to fret. Something else people are wondering as well, and I've heard this and I really want to address that. How do I feed my family on a limited budget at this time? And that is
Mm,
really something that is very close to me because
mm,
I'm into turning my hand and make fashion. And I'm sure as Jamaicans, we all know about that. And that
mhm,
is so true at this time. Now, how you going to turn your hand and make fashion to feed your family? Just a couple tips. We want to advise customers that you can actually, first of all, we want to encourage persons to not necessarily put on a big pot. Did I say that right? Yes,
oh,
we
yes,
have
you
to
did.
cut down on the amount of food we're eating at this time. To be
Mhm.
real, we have to keep it real, Michael, because we said that
Yeah.
finances are down, right? So we have to
Yes,
keep it real.
absolutely.
So we're going to make sure that we try and be more economical in our meals. We can do that by adding like vegetables to protein
Mhm,
to make the meal stretch. So we're talking about beans, we're talking about callaloo, using callaloo, we're talking about other vegetables like carrots, just to ensure that our family can be fed. We may also have to consider, Michael, something that a lot of people might not necessarily like, but
mhm.
yes, can we just eat less? We might not be able to eat 3 meals, 3 full meals per day, but we have to survive. Believe it or not, we can survive on 2 good meals per day, and many of us probably will have to move into that space, giving up
Mhm.
a meal so that the food we have can take us for a longer period. It's also time to go farming in the backyard so that you can
Mhm.
actually go outside and cut your own callaloo and put that as part of your meal preparation. So there are many things we can do, and one of my favorite is the polenta, and that's a great name for the usual tonkan meal that we know. But it is awesome with
Yep.
coconut milk and
Mhm,
mixed vegetables. Great, great addition at a seriously economical cost. We also
mhm,
want to point out that it's a great time to use substitute products because
mhm.
sometimes the branded products that are really more expensive, we can come out with a lot more if we do substitution of brands. So those are some
Be
of the
creative, huh?
recommendations that we could make to help us
Mhm.
in this time when we're thinking of really stretching the dollar that we have. Yes, Michael, I know that you're a great chef. What would you add to that?
Well, you see, all of what you said a while ago, Rose, is really what I am experiencing here, and quite a number of my friends and family members have been doing this. So that was great advice. Be creative and involve the family into these meal preparations, and let them understand how it affects the budget. It's not normal times now, Rose. So yes, being being creative in your meal preparation is always safe.
And I know we're running out of time, but we really must answer this other one, Michael, because
Mhm,
some people are out there and they're wondering, what's my next move? I'm out of a job. My budget is thin.
mhm,
What really can I do in terms of the skills that I have and the
mhm.
talents? And we're saying, happy for you that you have skills and talents because now is the time to monetize them. What do I mean by that? Make them bring income into your pocket. So, what can you do? What kind of skills, what kind of abilities, what kind of talents you have? Whatever they are, utilize them so that you can earn an income from them. It is a great time to do that. And we would recommend that throughout COVID, post COVID, and anytime, monetize our skills because as we do that, that's going to help us to get to our financial destination a lot quicker. So you can sew. It's a great time to get into the mask making business because thousands of masks are going to be
Mhm.
needed over the short and the medium term because COVID, it seems, is going to be with us for a while. And so this is your opportunity to make sure that you utilize that skill to make masks to supply a need that is very, very strong right now. If you're able to teach math or English or any other subject, it is also a good time. Students are about to do CXCs and they would love somebody to come alongside them and help them to get through this period. So you can monetize the skills and the talents that you have. And what that does, it's bring money into your pocket so that you can help yourself and your family at this very difficult time. Michael, what skills do you have that you can monetize?
Oh, boy, I have several, but it's really more about the viewers. And some of the things that I know some persons are doing, they are artistic and they're finding time to sell paintings, and at reasonable costs. If you know that you're good on online activities, why not hone the skills? There are some free courses that are being offered all over the world right now.
Great,
So you can earn yourselves with those. Wouldn't you agree, Rose?
great time, and they are free of cost. And we, some of us, do have the time on our hands right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And there's one more thing, Michael. Many of us probably have motor vehicles. We
Hmm.
can actually use that as a tool to do delivery services. We can
Big
use that
business
as a
right now.
tool to drive around to communities with farm products. So we can bring
Mhm.
that to the community, and thereby we are engaged in employment and we're satisfying a need of the community members. So we have to think outside the box to come up with solutions that will help us during this time.
Yes,
Michael, it
I
was
agree with you.
great. It was great wrapping with you this afternoon. We have come to the end of our discussion. We want to thank our listeners for tuning in, and we invite them to come back next week, Thursday, on June 11th, when we will be discussing another interesting topic. Just something to help you cope during this very challenging time.